Salut l'équipe, j'espère que vous allez bien, on se retrouve pour une nouvelle vidéo sur Helldivers 2 où je ne vais pas beaucoup parler car déjà j'ai peur que la vidéo soit beaucoup trop longue et c'est surtout car on a eu pas mal de leaks audio ces derniers jours et ça reste très intéressant à écouter car on va nous reparler des insectes volants mais aussi de potentiels robots volants, voire l'arrivée imminente des Illuministes. Ici, on va essentiellement parler de l'or, vous l'aurez compris, mais on va potentiellement spoiler l'histoire qui pourrait se dérouler sur les peut-être 2 ou 3 prochains mois, mais aussi sur des événements très récents qu'on a réalisés en jeu. Donc si vous voulez vous garder toute surprise, je vous invite à quitter cette vidéo. Comme d'habitude, merci à ceux qui soutiennent la chaîne au quotidien. Si vous recherchez des joueurs, vous avez mon lien du Discord dans la description. Et c'est pareil si vous voulez acheter vos jeux moins chers, passez par mon lien GamesPlanet où vous pourrez tout de même vous faire rembourser en cas de problème avec un achat. Je vous mets des images depuis le début de cette vidéo, mais on a bien un premier gameplay visuel des insectes volants. Je sens qu'ils vont être horribles comme c'est pas permis et ils ont l'air d'être plutôt vifs. Et on a une petite chance de les voir arriver ce 19 mars via certaines informations sur l'histoire qu'on va dévoiler ici. Mais de ce qu'on peut noter, c'est que leur intelligence artificielle a l'air d'être au minimum fonctionnelle pour leur donner un bon comportement face à un joueur, ce qui est un vrai indice sur l'avancée de ce nouvel ennemi. Avant de vous laisser avec les audios, je voulais vous montrer cette image qui vient démontrer que les changements de couleur sur les armures vont arriver dans Helldivers 2 et j'ai une vidéo à monter pour vous parler des statistiques des armures mais aussi des capes et des casques. Bref, vous allez voir que c'est très intéressant et j'ai bien aimé expérimenter cette chose. Faut juste que je vous montre tout ça, mais je manque de temps. D'ailleurs, rapidement aussi, vous pouvez voir qu'en jeu, nous avons déjà le visuel des nouvelles grenades qui est disponible, comme la grenade termite, et qu'ils étaient disposés sur cette table depuis un petit moment. Je vous laisse avec le premier extrait audio et on se retrouve juste après pour un petit résumé grossier de ce qui a été dit. Et encore une fois, si vous ne voulez pas vous spoiler, quittez cette vidéo.
Freedom's greetings. I'm Coretta Kelly. New updates on the backfiring of the TCS in the Meridia system. Here's the latest. A preliminary investigation by the Ministry of Science reveals that the termicide initially worked, quote, as intended, eliminating 99.6% of the terminid population on all barrier planets. However, on Meridia, some of the remaining terminids not only survived, but actually began reproducing up to 20 times faster than before. Scientists are now calling the planet a terminid, quote, supercolony. The mutations caused by the termicide appear to be random, but according to the report, it is only a matter of time before the same reaction appears on the rest of the barrier planets. The Helldivers may be in a race against time to deactivate the TCS before this occurs. In other news, the disgraced scientists who developed the termicide have been taken into custody and are to be investigated for dissident infiltration. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Freedom's greetings. I'm Coretta Kelly. In a shocking development, a massive automaton fleet has invaded Cyberstan and the surrounding systems. Early reports indicate that this armada may be over 10 times larger than all previously encountered automaton forces. Currently, there is no information about the source of these new automatons or their connection to the automaton forces encountered previously. The unprovoked assault lasted merely hours, quickly overwhelming the relatively undefended planets on the galactic fringe. The president has already issued a response, saying, "This attack occurred as we were nearing a permanent end to conflict with the automatons. Now, it is clear that there can be no peace until every automaton is utterly destroyed." The Helldivers have begun a counteroffensive operation with the ultimate objective of retaking Cyberstan, the apparent base of automaton operations. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Good evening. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Today, fighting against the terminids was bolstered by the arrival of the Helldivers, marking the start of Operation Valiant Enclosure. According to the Ministry of Defense, the terminids will be safely quarantined once more by the end of the month. We go now to breaking news. We've just received what appears to be the first confirmed footage of the emerging automaton threat. We're receiving word now that the president has released a statement saying, quote, "It is past time we responded to this unprovoked incursion against democracy. The Helldivers are deploying as we speak to strike a number of automaton military installations. These invaders will soon discover the steel of Super Earth resolve." End quote. With fighting on two fronts, this will be the largest Helldiver mobilization since the First Galactic War. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Good afternoon. Today, millions of citizens across the galaxy attended processions in memoriam for those lost in the Moridesh dark fluid incident. As most viewers are likely aware, the planet of Moridesh was collapsed into a singularity following a disastrous meltdown at the dark fluid research facility. First responders continue to search for survivors, but due to the effects of time dilation, any escapees are unlikely to be found for at least 100 years. While investigators look into the cause of the incident, Helldivers continue to defend against the terminid onslaught from the Meridian supercolony after efforts to destroy it failed last week. Meanwhile, scientists are working to develop a new and improved termicide formula, giving hope for relief as the automatons also continue to advance. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Today, spontaneous military parades broke out across the galaxy, celebrating the destruction of the Meridian supercolony. Thanks to the courageous efforts of the Helldivers, the planet Meridia was successfully collapsed into a black hole, destroying the supercolony and its mutated strain of terminids. Concerns of unforeseeable impacts from the use of dark fluid have proved largely unfounded, experts say, with only minor space-time distortions observed in the area surrounding the singularity. Terminid spread has been vastly reduced following the planet's destruction, and efforts are now underway to develop a new and improved termicide formula. Looking ahead, the Helldivers are also preparing to mount a counterattack against the automatons. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Citizens of all ages and classifications are signing up to serve in what is now being called the Second Galactic War. According to reports, nearly 100% of able-bodied citizens have already voluntarily enlisted into the Super Earth Armed Forces. Meanwhile, those who are unable to fight are enthusiastically doing their part, making bullets, armor, toxic gas, and everything else needed for the arsenal of managed democracy. Coming up next, an interview with the artist behind the smash hit, Can't Ration My Love. Stay tuned. Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Today, the Dark Fluid Research Facility on Moridesh went into emergency shutdown, following what officials are describing as, quote, a close call. According to reports, the volatile exotic materials suddenly collapsed into a micro-black hole that spaghettified 12 facility members before evaporating. Production of weaponized dark fluid is scheduled to resume tomorrow, with no shortfalls projected in support of the ongoing operation to destroy the terminid supercolony. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Helldivers continue efforts to eradicate the automaton threat in Operation Swift Disassembly. The Minister of Defense has indicated that the operation's goal is the total destruction of all automatons, saying, peace is not an option. The automatons are programmed for two things, violence and hating freedom. Coming up next, are toilet stalls dissident hideouts? More on that when we return. Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Reports indicate that the TCS, even partially activated, is proving effective, with termicide killing 99.7% of the terminids on the barrier planets. As the termicide takes effect, the Super Citizen Prize for Science has been awarded to the brilliant researchers who developed the revolutionary chemical. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly. Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Reports indicate that the TCS is fully operational, with Termicide having killed nearly 100% of the terminides on the barrier planets. As the Termicide takes effect, the Super Citizen Prize for Science has been awarded to the scientific team that developed the revolutionary chemical. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
Donc, beaucoup de choses ont été dites, et si l'on en croit cet audio, on va aller assez loin dans l'histoire. Actuellement, nous avons un ordre prioritaire qui nous demande d'activer des tours sur Errata Prime, Turing, Fenrir 3 et Meridia. Sauf qu'en réalité, cela va accélérer la reproduction des terminides en changeant une planète barrière en super colonie terminide et booster leur mutation. Du coup, terminer cet ordre prioritaire sera un twist scénaristique. Oui, nous aurons réussi l'ordre et donc gagné les récompenses, mais de cela va en découler une mauvaise situation et nous mettre en difficulté. Mais la récompense à cet événement, c'est l'arrivée probable de nouveaux ennemis via la super colonie. On pense bien évidemment aux insectes volants, mais potentiellement, pourquoi pas, aux seigneurs des ruches. D'ailleurs, vous pouvez apercevoir leurs squelettes un petit peu partout sur cette planète. Donc nous allons concentrer nos forces sur les terminides suite à cet événement, ce qui va ouvrir une brèche dans nos défenses face aux automatons, et c'est qu'une fois la menace terminide repoussée, qu'on va reconcentrer nos forces contre les robots qui eux vont gagner du terrain. Cependant, il est notion de trou noir pendant ces événements où l'on pourrait voir la fin de la planète Meridia, là où serait installée la super colonie terminide, mais il est aussi fait mention de fluides sombres ou de matière noire, et je pense que c'est avec cette technologie qu'on va détruire Meridia, et c'est cette technologie qui va introduire et faire un premier pas vers l'arrivée des Illuministes. On le sait, ils sont cachés quelque part dans l'univers et ils préparent leur revanche. Ce trou noir ou cette matière noire pourrait être la porte ou la manière par laquelle cette faction va arriver, mais ici ce n'est que spéculation de ma part. Voilà pour ce résumé très grossier de ce que vous venez d'entendre, et on va maintenant passer à un autre audio qui a l'air de se dérouler pendant l'arrivée des Illuministes.
Helldiver, ready your arms. The terminides and automatons may no longer be our only adversaries.
The squids are back!
They're back!
The Illuminate eat brains. Only monsters would eat brains.
It wants my brain!
Status: Defending against Illuminate invasion. Helldiver support requested.
Tip number 411. When fighting Illuminate, keep moving.
Status: Liberation from Illuminate underway. Helldiver support requested.
Squids! Run!
Oh, squids! Run!
Squid outpost destroyed. Teleportation signature detected. Squids incoming. Squid teleportation signature detected.
Squid warp gate.
Squid warp gate!
Apparemment, les Illuministes arriveraient en force via une téléportation de masse, probablement au cœur ou très proche de la Super Terre, et on semble entendre des citoyens en panique. Vous le savez, c'est ma théorie depuis le début du jeu, même quand on me disait que c'était impossible car les Illuministes étaient décimés dans le premier jeu. Pour moi, la Super Terre sera jouable et ça sera pendant un événement majeur, mais surtout pendant l'arrivée de cette faction. Je soutiens cette théorie et je la soutiendrai toujours tant qu'on ne m'a pas démontré l'inverse. Et enfin maintenant, je vais vous laisser avec un dernier extrait audio où il sera fait mention d'insectes volants qui proviennent de mutations, donc qui vont un petit peu confirmer les événements que nous sommes en train de réaliser actuellement, mais surtout de robots volants. Il y a un court extrait qui parle de ça et on va encore une fois en revenir un petit peu sur ce fameux trou noir. Voilà l'équipe, je tenais vraiment à vous partager ça, n'hésitez pas à me balancer vos théories, ça m'intéresse fortement, j'adore vraiment cette façon de faire des développeurs sur le fait qu'on puisse réussir une mission, mais que ça pourrait déboucher sur une mauvaise situation et qui va récompenser indirectement le joueur avec pourquoi pas de nouveaux types d'ennemis. C'est vraiment génial. Encore une fois, merci à vous tous pour votre soutien, on se retrouve très vite pour une prochaine vidéo, prenez soin de vous et bonne écoute.
Master of the Super Destroyer. I make sure you have everything you need to spread managed democracy to our enemies. I can't wait to see the TCS in action. Giant towers all over the planet spewing bug-killing gas into the air? Logistics alone are a work of art. Once we get the TCS established, we can start putting the bugs back on the farms, where they belong. With tighter security this time, too. Welcome back. That termicide's so effective, you can almost forget that it's 100% safe for all other living things. The engineers filled the TCS tanks with enough termicide to last over a year. Should be easy enough to replenish, once all the terminides are dead.
Yeah, the TCS is actually pretty simple. Pretty much a big version of regular pest control protocol. Bomb the infested area, install fumigators to keep them from coming back. You know, simple, but effective.
You know, even after all these years, we're still not sure how terminides travel between solar systems. That's why the TCS is so genius. Doesn't matter how they get there, if they're dead on arrival.
From what I hear, the TCS is doing its job. You know, a few new mutations popping up here and there, but nothing to worry about.
Small fractions of the bug population are showing resistance to the termicide. This sort of thing is to be expected, of course. The TCS couldn't have failed at a worse time. Cyberstan was practically ours. The sheer volume of spores coming out of this super colony, I've never seen anything like it. Our farms couldn't achieve half of this, even at peak output. If more planets turn into super colonies like Meridia, we'll have to significantly ramp up our munitions production. We'll need a lot more bombs, is what I'm saying.
I was thinking, Helldiver, we know the flying bugs came from the termicide mutations, but what about the flying bots? You know, is it just a coincidence that they started flying at the same time? Or is it some kind of bug-bot collusion? I'm just saying, someone ought to look into that. I've actually read about what happened with the termicide. It's called hormesis. Basically, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like how small doses of poison can make you immune. Or how workers in uranium mines can't get cancer.
I've heard there's some kind of secret superweapon being worked on by our top scientists. Not the ones who made the termicide, of course. They're all being interrogated for treason. Our other top scientists. After we retake Cyberstan, we'll turn over every asteroid in the galaxy until we find where the automatons came from. Welcome back. Soon those bugs will be safely trapped behind an inescapable pit of warped space-time.
Yeah, I've done a little reading up on the dark fluid, and it's actually pretty simple. Exotic matter with negative mass, amplifies the force of gravity, varies with local energy density, etc., etc. I won't bore you with the rest of the details. I'm sure you get it.
Watch your step, Helldiver. We've got dark fluid on board now. One thing goes wrong, and we'll all be spaghettified before we know it. I'm a little nervous having the dark fluid aboard the ship. Apparently, there's a non-zero chance it could destroy the whole galaxy. But then again, we lose Super Earth. What hope is there for the galaxy anyway?
Oh, yeah! About time we erased that super colony from the map, huh? I hope they kept some of that dark fluid stuff, in case we need to teach the bugs another lesson. I've been thinking, E710 comes from bugs, and powers our warp drives. I wonder what happens when an entire planet of bugs gets compressed into an infinitesimally small point. A whole planet gone. Just like that. I can't believe it.
Well done! One step closer to turning this planet we're orbiting into a black hole.
Apparently, we haven't seen bug numbers like this since the Great Galactic War. But the Helldivers stomped the bugs then, so we got nothing to worry about, right? Yeah. Who's worried?
I authorized an extra serving of fruit salad for the crew. Today was a victory, and it's important to celebrate that. An entire planet compressed into an infinitesimally small point? Well, that's what happens when you resist the will of managed democracy.
Apparently there's some odd stuff about this singularity. You know, weird space-time fluctuations unlike any other black hole we've observed. Should be really neat to see what we can learn about it.
They say nothing escapes a black hole. But the memories of our lost citizens, those are still with us. I wonder what the automatons plan on doing with all the cyborgs. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't put it past them to be working together. I never trusted those half-human freaks.
I wonder what we'll do with the automatons after this. Simplest would be to eradicate them, like the Illuminate, but I don't know. Maybe we can put them to work in the mines, like we did with the cyborgs, huh?
Once this cleanup operation's over, I'm hoping they'll keep the Helldivers active indefinitely, as a galactic patrol force. The automatons weren't much of a threat, but you never know what else could be out there. 01000001, 01001000. that was the first intercepted bot message. Our analysts think it means, kill all humans.
You ask me, I don't think the automatons are self-aware. I think someone built them and programmed them to hate freedom. Some new kind of alien, maybe.